know, what it came down to was really interviewing contractors and just seeing just how much depth they brought to the table. I mean, in a lot of cases, they really viewed it as an afterthought. You know, sort of a thing where they just kind of flew by the seat of their pants, just threw some ideas out, said, you know, we can just slap this onto a, I think I called it a CAD program, have my buddy bang up a set of plans so we can get a permit and just kind of go build it as we go. You know, from a professional standpoint, it sounded really more like a weekend project to build a woodshed. You know, and when we finally had the opportunity to hook up through recommendations from a couple people, the level of professionalism that Ken and Jason brought to the first meetings, and the fact that they wanted to work with a process similar to my liking, which was, you know, step by step, you know, with an idea in mind and a set idea, and then how we'd initiate that idea, and what our goals were at the end. It became very apparent that these guys were people we wanted to talk to even more and see if we could, you know, find a working relationship to pursue the project that much further. Had a budget, obviously. You know, we at least we thought we had one. I think as being the first time this is, you know, I've done anything like this, or we have in this case. There was a learning curve definitely for us. It wasn't just that simple. As much as you think it is a simple 4 walls and a roof, we did have a plan. You know, and as the plan moved forward, we realized that budget maybe was just a baseline to get the plan started. And truly, when we saw how things were going to be executed, and what was involved, we realized that maybe we're going to have to be flexible. And it's like you say, the wants, the needs, you know, they increase. And as you see the amount of commitment and the level of detail that's being executed during the project, you become more in line with wanting to use those people. It's obvious that Ken and Jason have done their homework, and they've surrounded themselves with some really good people. And right from start to finish, anybody that we experienced or had the opportunity to meet carried on with a level of professionalism and enthusiasm, which was refreshing. On value, I mean, obviously give people a choice, you know, good, better, best. You know, I think human nature is to migrate to at least the middle, and then kind of if there's a way to balance or measure, they will move towards the higher price product if in fact it brings quality, you know, and longevity. And I mean, that's something we looked at is yeah, if it just was going to be about price and cheap, then yeah, there's lots of guys that would have put their hand up to show up and just slap something together. But our goal when we bought the property was in fact to be here a long time, and to be somewhere for a long time and have, you know, something you want, then you know that you want it well done. You know, one of the key things, especially when you've got so many different trades, and this is something they warned me about, you know, right off the get-go, is there's going to get to a point where it's going to get chaotic. You know, you're going to have a lot of folks roaming around the property with an agenda and a schedule, and when that happens, that's the fun part, but also the part for a lot of concern, because if there's something that's happening and there needs to be a decision made, then you need to have accountability and you know, contact points have to be met. So I mean, one of the nice things was with the two of them both, you know, being available, sometimes on site or even off site, if there was a concern or a question or a query, simple phone call. And you know, having an office in town locally was a definitely plus. Anybody we encountered throughout this whole project was definitely approachable, sincere, you know, and made us feel like we had a bit of a say. Obviously, I think we're supposed to have all the say to some point of it, but at the end of the day, they really took the time to make us feel welcome to ask questions. You know, don't feel that we are imposing on what we do, because again, it goes back to what I said earlier, is these kids really look like they enjoy what they're doing. You know, they feel like they've, you know, I like to see that. You know, I think at the end of the day, we all like to get up in the morning wanting to go to work, and I got the impression from you know, these guys that they enjoy their work, and you know, they were here to do a job, obviously with a great level of professionalism, but at the same time, like I say, it was a good experience, and it was good to meet some nice people as you go through your day to day, you know, you run into them downtown or something at a shopping center or something, you can still say hi to them, and they acknowledge, you know, hey, how's it going, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's good.